This week's Tech Today is a special one because it's about having more control, more choices with the technology that we use. Now, for years, India's transportation backbone has been supported by these private cab services. And for the past few years, we've seen some friction grow in this sector due to rising fares, safety, and also convenience. Seeing this, the government has now stepped in with its own cab hailing service. How good is it for customers and the drivers, and should you use it? That is our big tech story. Also, India's AI journey just got a massive boost with its own multilingual model that's beaten the GPTs of the world in some benchmarks. Stick around for all of that, as that is also an important story. And we'll also give you a few tips for Instagram users who want more control over their profile and who don't want people snooping on their account. So, lots to cover on this week's show. This is Cyrus, your host, and let's kick things off with the top tech headlines of the week.
An OpenAI researcher resigned recently, warning about potential privacy risks if advertising is integrated into ChatGPT. The researcher reportedly raised concerns that targeted ads could require deeper user profiling, increasing data sensitivity. OpenAI has maintained that user privacy remains a priority and that any monetization strategy would follow strict safeguards. The development has reignited debate around AI, data usage, and how far commercial models should go. ASUS has launched a new range of ZenBook laptops in India, featuring the latest Intel and AMD processors with built-in AI acceleration. The lineup includes thin and light models for students and professionals, as well as high-performance creator machines. Many models come with OLED displays, enhanced cooling, and longer battery life. ASUS says the new devices are designed to handle AI tools, multitasking, and hybrid work efficiently. NVIDIA has officially launched its GeForce Now cloud gaming service in India, allowing users to stream high-end PC games without owning expensive hardware. Gamers can play supported titles directly from the cloud on laptops, desktops, and even some smart TVs. With RTX graphics support and low-latency streaming, NVIDIA aims to make premium gaming more accessible as India's gaming market continues to grow rapidly. India is set to host a major global AI summit, drawing top tech leaders including Google CEO Sundar Pichai and Anthropic's Dario Amodei. The event is expected to focus on AI regulation, innovation, and India's growing role in global AI development. With startups, policymakers, and global firms participating, the summit signals India's ambition to position itself as a central hub in the evolving AI ecosystem. Russia has announced a ban on WhatsApp and Telegram, citing national security and data compliance concerns. Authorities say foreign messaging platforms must follow local data storage and monitoring rules. The move is expected to impact millions of users and could push citizens towards domestic alternatives. Critics argue the decision tightens state control over digital communication amid rising global tensions around online platforms.
कि ओला उबर को काम करते हुए काफ़ी टाइम तो लॉन्ग टाइम और भारत टैक्सी भी न्यू लॉन्च हुई है।
मैंने उसमें देखा कि वुमेन सेफ्टी को प्रायोरिटाइज किया गया है।
ओला और उबर से जब जीरो कमीशन रहेगा तो ड्राइवर के लिए तो फायदा है ही।
If I get good prices at in comparison to Ola and Uber, I will definitely go for Bharat Taxi.
ये सर भारत टैक्सी बढ़िया चलेगा।
हम लोग जो इंडिया का है उसी को प्रीफर करेंगे।
Now, booking a cab in Delhi-NCR can be a painful experience. Any metro city you go around India, especially when the prices are surging. It could be inclement weather or it could be just heavy traffic. And the burden of the cost kind of falls on the people, and I don't think that is fair, which is where the government has stepped in to launch a new app in India called Bharat Taxi, which promises no fare surge, and also the commission that usually goes to the aggregator this time goes to the driver. So we thought, why not test this application, whether it is really as good as it's being advertised online, and how does it change in terms of the customer experience, and also how is it beneficial for the drivers. So we put all of this to the test in our big tech story on the Tech Today show.
On paper, it looks great. Zero commission for drivers, zero surcharge for passengers, and a model where the driver is the owner. Union Minister Amit Shah officially launched Bharat Taxi last week in Delhi-NCR, positioning it as the ultimate Indian answer to Uber and Ola.
आपकी टैक्सी का पहिया अब आपकी समृद्धि के लिए ही घूमेगा.
Let's start with the app itself. The interface is surprisingly clean, built on the back of India's digital public infrastructure. It integrates a DigiLocker for paperless verification and UPI for instant payouts. But the real edge is the math. While Uber and Ola take up to 30% cut on riders, Bharat Taxi takes zero commission as advertised. Drivers pay a flat daily subscription of roughly 30 rupees for cabs. On a 500 rupee ride, an Uber driver loses 150 rupees instantly. A Bharat Taxi Sarathi doesn't have to pay anything extra. But that's for the drivers. Let's hear what the consumers have to say.
जो ड्राइवर वगैरह हैं उनको बेनिफिट ज़्यादा है, प्लस पैसेंजर के लिए भी कन्वीनियंट है, बढ़िया है.
थोड़ा सा कंपटीशन होगा इस ऐप के लिए, ओला के लिए, उबर के लिए. एंड बेसिकली मैंने उसमें देखा कि वुमेन्स सेफ्टी को लाइक प्रायोरिटाइज किया गया है. जैसे कि उसमें आप वुमेन्स के लिए किया गया है कि वुमेन्स राइडर्स भी होंगे उसमें, एंड स्पेशली वुमेन्स के लिए बुक कर सकते हैं वो. तो रात में वो अच्छा फीचर है. एंड ऑल्सो सायरन तो सब में ही है, शायद सायरन भी ऐड किया गया उसमें.
If I get good prices in comparison to Ola and Uber, I will definitely go for Bharat Taxi.
So those were the customers. But to be sure, we decided to give it a try ourselves. First, we booked the cabs using all three during peak office hours. And these were the prices. While most of the cab services gave inflated prices, even Bharat Taxi had the price above the normal. To see how things behave during non-peak hours, we tried taking a trip. The price on the Bharat Taxi app was around 20 to 25 rupees more than what we were getting on Uber and Ola. Clearly, this is a more expensive platform compared to the other two. And this wasn't the only case. Every time we tried booking, the prices were higher on Bharat Taxi.
ओला उबर में रेट है नहीं उतना अभी.
अच्छा.
और भारत टैक्सी है में इंडियन है सर्विस, तो इसलिए इसको इंस्टॉल किया कि इसमें रेट अच्छा मिलेगा.
अच्छा.
और सेफ्टी भी रहेगा.
आपने ये एक्सपीरियंस किया, आपको ये कमीशन जो है बेटर रेट मिल रहा है क्या?
अभी तो इसमें सर कमीशन नहीं लग रहा है भारत टैक्सी में. ओला उबर में कमीशन है दोनों में.
भारत टैक्सी में जो रेट है वो ज़्यादा आ रहा था, तो इसके चक्कर चलते हुए लोग भी यही सोचेंगे कि मैं फिर ज़्यादा क्यों दूं. तो आपको क्या लगता है इसके बारे में? वो तो ऊबर बुक कर लेंगे, उसमें सस्ता रेट आ रहा होगा.
अब देखिए सर, ये तो कस्टमर का वो है कि कस्टमर क्या करेगा क्या नहीं करेगा.
अच्छा.
लेकिन गाड़ी वालों के लिए तो अगर जिसमें थोड़ा रेट एक्स्ट्रा होगा, जैसे भारत टैक्सी है कमीशन नहीं ले रहा है और दोनों कंपनी कमीशन ले रही है, तो गाड़ी वाले को जिसमें बचत लगेगा उसी में वो चलाएगा.
गाड़ी वाला तो वही चलाएगा ज़्यादातर. तो अगर इसमें फीस देनी पड़े तो फिर तब आप यूज़ करेंगे या फिर वापस उबर या ओला पे?
नहीं सर, देखिए फीस कितना है वो तो समय के हिसाब से मालूम करेगा ना.
अच्छा.
क्या पता है ओला उबर से कम हो इसका चार्जेस, रेट ठीक ठाक हो, तो ये तो अभी कहना मुश्किल है. पहली राइड है तो मुझे तो विशेष जानकारी नहीं है इसकी.
ठीक है.
तो इसमें बस हम ये कहेंगे कि कस्टमर केयर जो है दोनों तरफ से चालू रहना चाहिए, ताकि ड्राइवर के लिए भी और कस्टमर के लिए भी किसी भी टाइम कॉल करके बातचीत हो जाए
जी,
जिससे दोनों लोगों को सहूलियत रहे, कोई परेशानी ना हो
जी.
बस ये कहेंगे सर.
तो एक अच्छा कस्टमर का सर्विस ड्राइवर और कस्टमर.
हाँ जी, दोनों के लिए होना चाहिए.
So the trip is finally ended. We have reached the location. The driver was courteous. It came on time, and the car was also clean. Yes, 20 rupees, 25 rupees extra fare we had to pay on Bharat Taxi, but I still feel it's decent enough. However, My experience was good, but I cannot say that the experience has been that great across the country. So these little chinks is something that the service will have to fix. Maybe they'll do it as the service progresses in the country.
First, there was the ghost cab problem. While the app shows 4 lakh registered drivers, the instant booking feature is a hit or miss. Unlike the AI-heavy giants that predict demand, Bharat Taxi's manual dispatch often leaves users staring at a searching screen for over 10 minutes. Then we have the UX friction. Simple tasks like entering an OTP or changing a drop location are prone to glitches. If you hit backspace during login, the app often resets. A basic UI fail that global rivals polished out years ago. And then there is the price paradox. While there is zero surge as promised, Bharat Taxi's base fare can actually be 15 to 20% higher than the non-peak Ola or Uber ride. It's a fairer price for the driver, but for the budget-conscious consumer, Swadeshi might come with a surcharge. However, safety is positioned as a primary pillar of the Bharat Taxi ecosystem, shifting from the purely algorithmic security of global rivals to a model integrated with local law enforcement. In a first-of-its-kind collaboration, the app is directly linked to the Delhi Police Control Room, allowing for real-time trip monitoring and immediate emergency response. Beyond the standard in-app SOS button, the platform features a loud siren emergency alert to notify nearby bystanders and has established 35 physical assistance booths at major transit hubs like airports and metro stations for on-ground support. For female passengers, the standout feature is Sarathi Didi. As mentioned in the press release, it will be a dedicated service that allows women to book rides exclusively with female drivers. However, while these government-backed integrations are robust, the platform lacks the high-end AI-driven anomaly detection, such as automatic off-route alerts, that private competitors have spent years perfecting, placing more reliance on manual intervention and police synchronization.
So we are done with our ground report, and I feel that Bharat Taxi is indeed a good initiative. I mean, it's for the people and by the people. However, there are these early chinks that need to be taken care of, which we mentioned earlier. But it's a great initiative for the drivers because, again, a no commission policy. Customers, I feel, will get there. But I want to ask you this question. If you're getting a cheaper alternative with Uber or maybe Ola, would you really pay more for Bharat Taxi just because the driver gets benefit? I feel for this service to really be successful, the prices need to be more competitive, and then maybe we can say that Bharat Taxi would be a good competitive solution for all customers. But again, you can let us know what do you think about Bharat Taxi and whether it will be a success in India in the future. The India AI Impact Summit is right around the corner, and the country is sending a powerful message to the world. We are ready for the next big thing in AI because for the first time, a serious conversation is happening around a homegrown large language model, not built in Silicon Valley, but right here in our backyard. It's called Sarvam AI, and it's beating the GPTs and the Geminis of the world. Now, this model is being seen as the key pillar in India's push to build its own AI ecosystem. So today, we decode what is Sarvam AI, why is the world talking about it, and how it could shape India's AI future.
Sarvam AI, an Indian artificial intelligence startup building large language models designed specifically for India's linguistic diversity and real-world use cases. Founded in 2023 by Vivek Raghavan and Pratyush Kumar, the company's mission is to create AI systems that understand India's language, culture, and context, something global models often struggle with. Unlike many Western models trained largely on English data, Sarvam's models are trained on India-specific datasets so they can understand regional languages and multilingual conversations. One of its early models, Sarvam 1, was trained on multiple Indian languages including Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi and more, and built using Indian research, data and infrastructure. The larger vision is clear: to build a sovereign AI stack, meaning AI is developed, deployed and governed within India. But that's not the only reason why this startup is being watched globally.
Now, in recent weeks, conversation around Sarvam AI has drawn attention after independent developers tested its tools for Indian language tasks.
In fact, reports suggest its OCR and voice models have outperformed global systems like Gemini and ChatGPT in reading and handling native Indian language documents, an area where Western models often struggle. That's a critical capability in a country where hundreds of millions communicate primarily in regional languages. But this wasn't as easy to achieve.
We took an engineering approach where we said that we can go and create lots and lots of translation data, not by manually going and translating it, but by looking at the internet, okay, and finding some two sentences on the internet that mean the same thing. मान लीजिए कुछ प्रेस रिलीज हुआ है और वो हिंदी में भी है और इंग्लिश में भी है, तो वहां से मैंने उठा लिया दो सेंटेंसेस. तो बड़े पैमाने पे millions of sentences can we get from online.
The Indian government has also taken notice. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav recently highlighted Sarvam AI's foundational model as an important step in India's sovereign AI strategy. And the Prime Minister has been encouraging AI startups, calling them co-architects of India's future as the country pushes to build Made in India, Made for the World AI technologies. And Sarvam AI has even been selected under the India AI mission to build a sovereign foundational model developed entirely within the country. So this isn't just startup hype anymore. This is now part of India's national AI strategy.
So the big question here is, why does India need its own LLM? After all, tools like GPTs and Geminis are already available to us. But here's the catch. Most global AI systems are trained primarily on Western data, Western languages and Western contexts. Mostly English, which means India's digital future depends on building intelligence that actually understands India.
India's AI ambition today is not just about using AI. It's about owning the stack. Union IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has spoken about AI development being a multi-layer initiative.
There are 5 layers in the AI architecture: the application layer, the model layer, the chip layer, the infra layer, and the energy layer. We are working on all the 5 layers, making very good progress in all the 5 layers. On the application layer, we will probably be the biggest supplier of services to the world.
And that's why under the India AI mission, the government is investing heavily in compute infrastructure, data sets, and indigenous models.
India's biggest opportunity is multilingual voice AI at the edge, built on federated healthcare data. Healthcare is India's largest structural challenge. We don't have enough doctors or hospitals, and most of Bharat is not English first. So the breakthrough is AI that understands patients in their own language through voice and runs locally in primary health centers and district hospitals.
There is also a growing push towards building domestic AI compute capacity, including partnerships to create large AI-optimized facilities and even a national compute grid to support model training at scale.
India has one of the largest developer pools in the world, one of the biggest internet populations, and possibly the most linguistically diverse digital ecosystem on the planet. If AI is going to shape the next global technology race, India cannot afford to just be a user. It has to be a builder. I'm not saying Sarvam AI is the only answer to this, but it could be the first serious signal that India is ready to build its own intelligence layer. Now, with the AI summit that's just around the corner, the world will be watching how India positions itself in the new technology order. And we'll be bringing you all of the on-ground coverage, exclusive conversations, and deep dives from the summit on India Today. So please keep a track on that. Now, to something that is handy for all Instagram users. Moving on from AI, now let's shift focus to something that's simpler, and I'm talking about Instagram. Now, more than 1 billion people are using this platform, and on a daily basis, you have so much of content that's going on Instagram and you're using it. But I've come to notice that a lot of people are complaining about noise, a lot of distractions on the platform, which is why on this segment, I want to talk to you about how you can get control back on Instagram, make the content work for you. And these settings, by the way, are not going to get you extra followers, but they will make sure that you have a great Instagram experience. Simple settings, but major impact. So first, let's talk about a feature that a lot of people will definitely thank me for, which is favorites. Now, Instagram always does not show you posts from people that you follow or you want to watch first. It always shows you what the algorithm demands, which is why your close friends, families, or favorite creators often get buried. The favorites feature can fix that. To activate it, open Instagram, go to your home feed. On the top left, tap the Instagram logo, select favorites. Now tap add to favorites and choose the accounts you never want to miss. So all of the creators and the people that you've mentioned in the favorites area will now come first on your feed, and you will never miss out on anything that they post. Kind of like prioritizing their content. Next feature is something that I'm sure a lot of people have struggled with, and it just makes your life easy. How to not see someone on Instagram without unfollowing them. Check this out. Now first up, go to the profile that you want to ignore or mute. Tap the following option and then tap mute. Choose whether you want to mute posts, stories, or reels. Now, why this is interesting and makes things less awkward for you is that you don't end up unfollowing the person, but you also don't see any of their posts or stories, which just makes life easier for you, doesn't it? Yeah, you can thank me now. Now let's talk about something that is absolutely important for your Instagram, which is getting control back on your profile. Now, there are a lot of people out there who tag you, mention you in comments whenever you have posted something, or whether they want to reach you. This is the only option that they have. If you don't want that happening, here are some settings that you can activate. First, let's talk about tagging control. Go to your profile, tap the 3 lines on the top right, go to settings and activity, tap tags and mentions. Here you will see tags, and there you can turn on manually approved tags and also set who can tag you or the people you follow. This basically means that people you follow or are actively in conversation with will be able to mention you in tags, and just keeps all of the unnecessary and unwanted people away from, mentioning you in comments. It's just easier. Now next up is mentions control. You can go back to privacy and tap the tags and mentions option. There you choose the people you follow. This basically stops random strangers from pulling you into comments and mentioning you, and just makes life easier for you when you're using Instagram. Next is comments control. You can go back to the privacy setting, tap on comments, and then set the who can comment to followers. Turn on hidden unwanted comments to automatically block abusive or spam comments. Now these settings will dramatically reduce the amount of unwanted mentions, harassment and spam that your account faces. So I think for people who like a little privacy for their accounts, this setting is very important. Now the next feature and setting is very important, especially for people whose explore pages are crowded with the kind of content they do not want to watch. And that's where you need to clean up your algorithm, and that power is in your hands. How to do that? Let me tell you. Remember, the algorithm isn't broken, it's just trained badly. To basically fix all of that, all you need to do is go to the post or the reel that you don't like. Long press on the screen or tap on the 3 dots at the bottom right corner and tap on not interested. The more you do this on the content that you do not like, Instagram will understand that this is the type of content that it's not supposed to show you, and your feed and explore pages will start to radically change. Trust me, they will. And in order for you to reset suggested content, you can go to settings and privacy, tap on content preferences and select reset suggested content. This basically is an absolute reset on the kind of content that Instagram suggested based on your usage pattern. So now, for example, if you're viewing more educational content or self-help content, that's exactly what Instagram will recommend now, which is great, right? Now, this one hidden setting I know people need to learn and understand, because who you follow also affects the kind of content that pops up on your feed. So any of the accounts that you have outgrown or do not watch the content, just unfollow them and your feed will, radically improve. It will happen. It's just that Instagram will take its own sweet time in order to understand what you really want to watch. So unfollow all of these accounts that you do not interact with anymore. And finally, yes, there is an option for people to change their Instagram username, and it's available in the settings. How you can do that? Let me show you. Go to your profile, tap edit profile, and then tap username. Enter the new username that you want and just press done. Now, usernames are unique. You will not be able to get any one that you want. You will see the options that are available and then you can tap on that. But remember, profiles that are verified will not have it easy to change their username, because I tried it. I cannot. I have to contact customer support to get my username changed, because a lot of the people, if their accounts get hacked, especially if they're verified, it can lead to a lot of spam and impersonations, which is why Instagram does not allow verified accounts to change their username that easily. So there you have it, some very simple settings to make sure that your Instagram experience is better. Remember, Instagram doesn't need more of your time. I mean, yes, it does for ad purposes, but it's a better way for you to take control of what you see on your platform, who can reach out to you and who cannot. I hope these settings work for you, and if you run into any trouble with these, you can always reach out to us and we'll try to help you out. I'll see you next time very soon. That's a wrap on this week's Tech Today. Please remember to join our AI Impact Summit broadcast next week for all of the latest developments, exclusive interviews with big tech CEOs and some exciting innovations from the event. I'll be on the ground getting you all of the updates, and I hope to see you there next week. Till then, stay curious, stay updated, and keep watching the Tech Today show. This is Cyrus saying goodbye.